So let's talk a little bit about the Gong Show. And here's my handy dandy trophy in all its glory. Yay. First of all, I just had such a great time. Jack Black, Jennifer Aniston, Will Arnett, incredible people in person, as you think that they are. I loved getting to be a part of the show. But just to talk a little bit about, I think it was just the greatest adrenaline rush I had ever experienced, not only like as a person, but also as a speed painter. Yay. Lo and behold, when Jack Black was going to the gong, I think in that moment I experienced probably one of my favorite parts was because I got to see something that come out of myself that I just quickly finished the painting to flip it in time, and I'm so grateful I saw him out the corner of my eye go to the gong so I could flip it early, and so that was a huge adrenaline rush. And what most of y'all don't know is that actually that painting was actually intended to start out as a double content, and so that first painting was actually supposed to be a battleship. And it didn't really land well, and so, which was funny, because I thought that, maybe a double content, that was kind of like my best strategy going in, was thinking that because Jack Black is like super squirrely and very energetic and entertaining, and so I thought, and then and Jennifer is too, and Will is very hilarious, and I thought, man, I need to really keep their attention. And so like my strategy going in for the Gong Show was like, man, I think I'm going to keep their attention by doing a double content. And so a double content is when you do two paintings simultaneously, where one image right side up is the same shapes and the same silhouettes and stuff like that another image is upside down. And so a battleship, like the way that it kind of spanned out and where the waves and stuff were and the sails kind of going up, was kind of like the same shape as Will Arnett's head upside down. And so I thought, oh, this would be perfect. I'll start out with a battleship and flip it into Will Arnett's face, and their minds will be blown, and I'll do it so quickly they won't even know what hat hit them. Well, I started out with the battleship, and I think that because it was just, the show was just so, and so it wasn't landing super well, and so then I think that Jack Black was like, they didn't understand, and so as soon as he was starting to get up to go to that gong, I was like just enough into the battleship that was also forming Will's face, and so I had just enough. I was just real crazy doing it, and had it just enough time. And Will, as he was going up there to stop him, I flipped it to. Then Bill was like, "Wait," just like trying to say like, "Stop, no!" As he was inches from gonging, and it was awesome because he stopped, he turned around, and he saw, and it was like, "Whoa!" and like the whole crowd erupted. And I think for me, it was probably the most climactic experience and reaction I had ever seen from a crowd.
That was a good stopping. I'm glad you stopped me.
Fantastic.
I was so close to gonging because I was like, there's no way this is going to turn into a good painting. And then you spun it around, flipped it, and it's a masterpiece.
And I think for me, it was probably the most climactic experience and reaction I had ever seen from a crowd as a speed painter. And for me as well, because I was like, oh my gosh, what is that? I was flipping, I was like, I hope this looks like Will. And I was like, I don't know. And so just the way that it played out was just like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe this worked out. And so after it landed, I saw two that looked like Will, and I was like, whoa! I was like, yeah! And dancing across the stage, and everybody was freaking out. It was just really, I think if it had ended right there, I would have been okay. But then getting to talk to the judges, Jennifer Aniston, Jack Black, and Will Arnett afterwards was like a dream come true. Getting to be complimented by Jennifer Aniston, she was like sitting there telling me that it was amazing. It was something she'd never seen before, and it was like, oh my gosh, this is Jennifer Aniston, like the girl off Friends. I've been watching this on like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this. And just to hear Will just give me 100 was like, what? And Jack Black, like enough that he just didn't gong me, is just so incredible. And so, and if that wasn't enough, I mean, to at the end of the night get to take home that trophy was even better. And so, and then, you know, don't know like if Jennifer Aniston and Will Arnett had ever seen, or Jack Black had ever seen speed painting like that before, but you know, they came up to me afterwards and they were congratulating me and gave me a hug and told me that I had done a really great job, and Will took that painting with him, and it was just really neat. And so also the accomplishment, I think one of the greatest things too was the lesson and the accomplishment of knowing, like, you know, because going into the Gong Show is kind of, you know, it's kind of scary as a speed painter, knowing that like I could go on national television and do that and risk not getting to complete that battleship or whatever, like in time, and be gone and like on national television and like with an incomplete painting and like whoa. And so I knew it was a huge risk, but I think one of the greatest takeaways that I got to learn from this was like no risk, no reward. And so I'm so absolutely grateful that I did get to go and be a part of it, and I'm so glad that I took on the challenge. And you know, gosh, I was up probably for 2 days straight, didn't sleep, didn't eat, practicing in my hotel room, painting my little heart out, trying to make sure that like I had a strategy in case anything crazy happened. And so I think if it hadn't been for that, I wouldn't have been able to flip it early. I had literally survived by the skin of my paintbrushes. And at the end of the night, getting to see that pay off, and getting to finally be known now as America's first female speed painter, and one of the fastest speed painters now that's been nationally televised, is just something that I would have never gotten to experience if I hadn't taken that risk. And I think it's just something that, you know, I got to see and learn from myself. I didn't know that that was something that I would get to do, or, you know, or that I would get to experience. And I think that's something that was a greater takeaway too for myself. And I just totally enjoyed that experience and made such great friends. I loved the Radio Chicken Heads and Katie Sunshine and T-Rex was there. Some really great friends backstage, and just love my experience on the Gong Show. And so thank you so much for tuning in and hearing a little bit about my experience, and I hope you enjoyed my first YouTube channel show, and I hope that you continue to watch the Gong Show. Stay creative.